GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
How are we, folks? Welcome along to the 51st edition of GloryDaze.
Yeah, of the podcast. We missed last week, our 50th. We let it go without
That's so us, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally, so it was meant to be a milestone, you know, the 50th episode of GloryDaze, and sure, we didn't even know.
We hadn't a clue what was going on. As usual, yeah, a bit lost anyway. But it's not like me to miss a birthday of any kind of description.
No, that's what I was going to say, because you could have, had you have known anyway in advance, you could have kind of demanded some sort of accolade for us, or some sort of, at least cake.
Yeah, recompense, yeah, exactly, yeah. I would have at least had a chalk ice with you upstairs yesterday instead of a bowl of porridge, as if that was going to help. Yesterday was one of those days where I was like, okay, new me, I'm going to turn down the chalk ice. Yeah. And then I went straight off, I got a huge chicken roll after the show. Brilliant. And then I had a huge scampi and chips out in Holt after in the evening.
Better again.
Yeah, and it's amazing, isn't it, the way sunshine justifies piggery, isn't it? No matter what. Like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's not like we get it often, even though we know we're going to have at least a week of it. I better have pints every single day, and what's wrong with having a box of Smarties for breakfast? You know,
it is true. You're right, though. It is that sort of like what seldom is wonderful. You do feel like there are no rules apply anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it's like literally you have to somehow mark it outside of your normal life. God forbid you'd just lie down and enjoy a few rays, maybe.
No.
Or sit out in the garden and just, enjoy the sun or whatever. No, you can only do that if you've got excessive amounts of food and drink with you at the time.
At the time, it's like going to the cinema. It's a part of the experience,
Yeah.
Like, those weirdos that go to the cinema and like they have one little bag of popcorn. And you're like, what are you going to do with your hands for the entire time?
Or else those people that you see where, you're going to get your giant size, a huge box of popcorn, because you always go, look, it's just cheap to supersize it.
Yeah, that's
may as well go
and you're going,
size.
okay, I'll have the barrel of Coke and the bucket of popcorn.
Exactly.
Please, thank you very much.
And they occasionally come across somebody where, maybe that mightn't even be in your party, but somebody will turn around and say, what do you want? Oh, nothing for me.
Yeah.
Nothing for you.
Yeah, we're going to the cinema. Don't you start thinking that you're going to be talking to me.
For me. What are you going to do? Like, watch the film or something?
Yeah, I know. You can do that at home on the dodgy stick.
What do you mean, nothing for you? And of course, your immediate reaction would be, don't think you'll be sharing any of mine.
Oh, I'll never forget being in the cinema once with me ex Elaine. How she put up with me, I'll never know. And she was there, nothing for me. And then she went back for the fourth time. She went back for the popcorn. I grabbed her hand and went, that's it now. That's it now. And she was like,
you've crossed the line here.
Yeah, and she goes, are you serious? I was there, that's it now. I'll go out and get you one for yourself.
But we're married. Yeah, that's not the point.
No, she goes, she didn't. She said, you prick you, she said.
A far better response, to be fair.
Yeah.
Far better response.
And then I was there, I'll go and get you one. And then you get the stupid, stubborn thing. No, it's grand, I want one. Oh, there's Jim's phone going.
Oh my God, look in the middle of that.
Is that someone saying what you eat for dinner? If it is, you're laughing. It's going to be the best call ever. The best timed call ever.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing as well, just while we're on the subject of food, right, and piggery during the whole kind of like sunny weather or whatever, right? The other thing is, the way people seem to have this assumption that if the weather was really good, right?
Yeah.
And they refer to it even as salad weather. Do you know what I mean?
I never understood all that salad weather stuff ever.
And yet all I get when there's weather's anyway decent whatsoever is the urge to eat as much greasy, salty food as possible.
Same here. I've never understood this thing of like, who's mad didn't give him this and it's one slice of fucking ham rolled around and a bit of... I was like, I never got that. And a teaspoon of coleslaw. I never got that. So that was never in our house. And I remember other houses having it. And then the weirdness of doing it for a couple of days. And you go into the cafe and you go, what's that? And there's like 3 plates with cellophane wrapped around them. Yeah. And sweaty old ham, they go, oh, that's for the weekend. That's the dinner. That's what you're eating for the weekend.
They had it planned in advance. Like.
Yeah, had it planned. I was like, at least put it in the fucking fridge. It's ham. It's sitting in the sun underneath the window. You can't eat that on Sunday. You're going to get food poisoning.
Yeah.
And you're there going, no, we never get sick in this house. You do. You're sick now. Trust me, you're sick now.
There's coleslaw on that and it's turning brown.
Yeah, your skin is yellow. Something is wrong in this home. you're not eating right. There's something, yeah.
Oh my God.
We never had that. And like you, as soon as it got to the good weather, all I want is chips and Coke. Chips and Coke and pints, that's it.
Or takeaways and stuff.
Yeah,
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
it, yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. You know, this assumption that if it's really warm, your appetite goes down as well. You get those people say, I don't eat as much on holiday. You know, when you're in the sun, like I might have a little bit of fruit during the day.
Yeah.
Really?
You know these
Wow.
people, you go to Italy and you're like, oh, the food there, and this is, I didn't really notice. I actually forgot to eat. You forgot to eat. You know these people.
Yeah.
You forgot. Oh yeah, I just forgot. We were having such a good time walking around. I had breakfast and I don't think I ate again till Wednesday. Shut up. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You forgot to eat. Yeah, I never understood that. Like,
because and that's, I suppose, to be fair, like the salad thing in Ireland is much better than it used to be. I mean, we have moved on, thankfully, from that cellophane plated coleslaw and sweaty ham.
Oh, I'll never forget being in Kerry or Cork, actually, I can't remember where it was, and asking for a veggie burger, because I was a veggie for years when being a veggie wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And they just gave me the burger without the meat in it, like this lettuce and mayonnaise and 2 bungees.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's not, like, you know, that was me veggie burger. Like, the idea of they were not meat.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get their head around it. And when I was doing the show with Francis Barrett, you know, Francie, the traveller who fought for Ireland, and I told him I was a vegetarian, so he got me a bowl of chicken wings. Yeah. I said, I don't eat chicken. He said, you don't eat chicken? Yeah. He couldn't believe it. Yeah. He was like, surely, like, even a vegetarian would eat chicken. As I say about, he sees them like just feathered fruits, you know, walking around. Yeah.
Mind you, didn't you once refer to fish as vegetables of the sea?
They're thick as shit, man. They're thick as shit. I know, like they are. You like no, you know, you might have a pet chicken, you'd never have a pet fish. Well, actually, no.
No, that's probably
it's actually the other way around.
Yeah. If you have a pet chicken, that would be considered slightly more unusual, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Although I'd love to take the chicken for a walk around Dublin. Just out with the chicken, yeah.
It'd be perfect, yeah. People can see PJ has his cock out again.
Yeah, he's there, yeah. He's mad for it. Always on, yeah. Anytime there's a bit of the sun, he's walking around with that cock.
Oh, unbelievable. It brings it everywhere he does, to be fair to him.
Swinging his cock around left. Absolutely love it. The noise of it.
I mean, I have to say, the other thing as well is, why is it that we're so unprepared for all sorts of weather?
I don't know.
Why is that? So, like, traditionally, they used to say, because Ireland gets so much rain, right, everybody would get annoyed because it'd lash rain and mayhem would ensue. There'd be traffic chaos, there'd be floods, there'd be all that sort of stuff, right? And it's like, you know, for Jesus' sake, we get rain feckin' 300 days of the year. How can we not be prepared for rain, right?
Yeah.
Then we get sun. Right, we get sun for 5 days.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there's chaos again. We've
yeah.
no water. We've no water.
Yeah, the roads are falling apart. Yeah, I think Irish people, we constantly think that we're at the end of history. We constantly think that what is happening now is how it's going to be forever. You know?
Yeah.
So when the summer comes, you don't, you know, store your winter clothes. You cut them fucking things up and move on with your life. You know, take the bottoms off your trousers.
Yeah, I'll never need them again.
We survived the winter. You know, we survived. A new day has dawned. And then, like, you'll always get, as soon as it gets bad again, someone going, where did that rain come from last night? Mother of Jesus, I've never seen that like it. You did. You did, literally 3 months ago, you thought.
And the other thing is, we do have a slightly goldfish mentality and stuff when it comes to weather. Like, literally, you will find lads, they definitely exist, lads who will, on a Monday, be going, oh, jeez, that heat would kill you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can't get a wink of sleep, that heated, absolutely. Oh, my God, you'd be annihilated. Yeah. And on the Tuesday, when it's gone, literally the day after, they'd be like, this feckin' country, should we know somewhere to?
Yeah, you know, I hope you took a picture. You know, like, take a picture, that's your summer.
That's like, it's just no middle ground.
No middle ground
whatsoever.
Born to moan. Born. Some people literally come out of the womb crying. Well, you always do.
Do you realise how cramped I was in there?
Yeah. The state of that place. Jeez, she wouldn't stop farting the whole 9 months. Like, we literally won't, like, they would never stop moaning. I don't know what it is, yeah. Just a national pastime.
That's exactly it. National pastime is what it is. Not that we'd ever do any of it ourselves, of course.
Oh, no. It's not like I come in here every day and just complain for a living for 4 hours every day.
But funnily enough, complaining did make an appearance on the show during the week, and it was those very type of people. It was those people who find reasons to complain, even when, you know, in general, it's kind of a joyous situation, like good weather. The heat seems to bring out a whole different range of kind of complaints.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Yeah.
So we were chatting a bit about that during the week. There was a famous phrase about there's no stupid questions, right? It's that idea that, look, feel free to ask, don't feel inhibited. That's the theory behind it. You learn from your mistake. There are no stupid questions.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's just not true. Yeah.
We had to put it in.
Yeah, there are Egypts in the world that everything they say is stupid. Yeah, so that's out there.
Also, we were giving you some tips during the week, whereby if you wanted to increase your attractiveness, you know, if you wanted to be somebody who, maybe makes a room turn around and swoon.
Yeah.
There was a few tips
tips on how to do that, how to make yourself the most attractive person in any room.
Have you put those into practice at all?
Yes, but unfortunately
it was an empty room.
Yeah.
And then it's written down here, women. And I'm struggling to try and remember what was that. Women complaining about men? Is that what that was?
I think that's what it was. It was. It was about things they liked the least about men.
Yeah. It was in their marriage, I think.
Well, yeah, I think maybe it got that way. It wasn't supposed to be about women and men. Actually, it just ended up that way. Yeah.
The knowledge that we have of this show, you would kind of wonder.
There's a lot of it, man. There's an awful lot. Like, do you even remember driving in this morning? Like, you know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's a lot goes on.
Anyway, listen, as a reminder for you, have a listen to some of these best bits. We'll talk to you in a sec.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
Oh, yeah, so how to be the most attractive man in the room.
I need this badly.
Yeah, this is actually very good.
Have you seen me legs here?
I tell you, man, look at the two of us, and it's like it's only each other we have for competition here, so
that's pretty rough. I mean, we are literally just one step away from hanky on the head, aren't we?
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah, at the moment anyway. But this professional life coach is saying these are simple tips that you can do to make yourself the most attractive person in the room.
Okay,
that there's easy things for you to do to sort of stand out, head and shoulders above the rest, kind of make you look more confident. That's it, really.
Okay.
So she says, talk with your hands. That's a big one. You know, so when you're trying to explain something, like use your hands to, like, paint a picture.
You're literally doing it now.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I'm trying to...
you being all confident and attractive.
I knew you kind
waving your hands around the place.
Yeah, I'm just going to see what effect it has on you, see if you start swooning.
Yeah, I'm going to see if anybody, if kind of any of the ladies come to the windows around us here,
when they see
balconies, when they see you waving your hands around.
They're just going to think I'm shouting help. There's a man that's taking me hostage. They see us up here. They also say the wet hair makes you more attractive. For some reason, there's something about wet hair that makes it look better. So go for the wet hair look.
That's even on your back?
Well, I don't think that counts. You probably, if you're walking around with no shirt on, you'll definitely get attention. But wet hair, I don't know. I mean, it's not exactly
That's
like...
a bit of a loss for me, really.
Yeah. Although I can't imagine ever being in a situation where she goes, "You look good," and you'd be like, "Yes, I just flushed my head down the toilet when I saw you coming."
Yes, I've just been in the rain.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed in for the last half an hour. Wet hair, I don't know if that's really going to be a thing.
Surely that has to be you have to be in the setting for it. You know, if you're literally dripping all over a dinner table, surely that's not necessarily the most attractive thing in the world, is it?
Well, no, definitely not. But that happens to me sometimes. Do you ever over order a chili and you get really, really hot and start sweating? Oh my God, that's awful. That never happened to you? Oh my God.
You sweat so much that you would actually drip on the table.
I was dripping on the table. I ordered a really hot dinner with this. I was going to say young one. That's a terrible thing to say. With this woman. And I was away with the woman, and I ate this really, really hot thing. I thought, I love spicy food.
Yeah.
And I was there going, mother of Jesus. And she was talking, and I could feel the beads of sweat on my head and everything. And then I was like, I'm dripping into my shirt.
And she was thinking, he's taking this try to be attractive thing just a bit too far.
Yeah. And then I had to sort of start going, I'm not nervous, I'm just roasting. Like, it was the most embarrassing thing. Yeah. Oh, it was awful. Then they say, ignite passion by talking slowly. Apparently, the slower you talk, the more interesting you sound. and that means that you'll be more engaging to the person you're trying to make.
That's going to be a struggle for you, buddy.
Definitely for me, yeah, definitely, yeah. I've got like
I mean, considering you once had to be told to sit down in the hope that it would stop you talking.
Yeah, I got in trouble with my boss. He told me to stop standing up because I couldn't make any sense. I was talking too fast, and I wouldn't mind only. I don't even have the one voice in my head.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the reason you speak so fast is because you're actually competing to get in there first ahead of the other voices.
Yeah, I'm drowning out the other 4 personalities who are all vying for attention. I'll be talking to some woman thinking if she doesn't like this personality, don't worry, there'll be another one along in a minute.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, you're mid-conversation telling people to shut up and nobody said that. Shut up, will you?
Yeah,
I'm trying to speak.
shut up, you.
But I didn't say anything. I wasn't talking to you.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this Egypt in my head. Wants me to go and get an ice cream. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They also say try to embrace your own sensual energy. Now that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but she says that if you learn to accept yourself for who you are, you create a sensual energy, and this energy, it sort of evokes powerful emotions that people see you as being so comfortable with yourself that it makes other people comfortable with you.
Again, not a great one for me, really.
No,
surely all of us. Nobody likes themselves, do they?
No.
Are there people out there who like themselves?
I don't think you should embrace your own energy. I'll be honest with you. I did that for the last few months, and all I did was put on weight. I'll be honest with you, that's all that happened. My trousers don't fit anymore. I says, who cares? Accept yourself for who you are. You like to indulge. And now my cacks don't fit. So I don't agree with this at all.
It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah.
Ask your question, it's all
you should
good.
never be shamed for saying something. Just because you don't know doesn't mean you're stupid.
Yeah.
It's totally not true. Like, there is idiots out there. Like, it's just no two ways about it. Some people are. They just don't think,
Exactly. There are stupid questions.
There are stupid questions.
They may not be stupid people. They may just have had a bit of a moment. But I'm sorry, there are some stupid questions.
We've all asked stupid questions, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a friend of mine, when I was in her house once, I was pulling away on my motorbike, and she goes, oh, that's an electric bike. And I was there, no, I just haven't started it yet. But... yeah, I was just backing it out of her garden, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Very quiet. Electric.
Very quiet electric bike, yeah.
No, I haven't turned it on.
No, turn it on now in a minute, second. Yeah, but so they asked tour operators, travel operators, about the stupid questions that people have asked them when they've been on holidays. The stuff they've heard that is just, how can you honestly do this, or stupid things they said, and they're like, some of it is disgusting, some of it's just silly. Like, one guy says,
some of it's disgusting.
Well, the first one, like, he went down to the hotel and he says, every single time I use my toilet it blocks up, can you please have someone to have a look at it? And apparently he was pooping in the bidet. So it's one of the,
oh Lord,
they just don't know what they're at, and another fella said he lost his mind. He goes, I can't get a reception on my mobile phone, this is ridiculous. And they said, yeah, but you are on a wilderness tour of the Sahara Desert. You're like, in fairness, what made you think you're going to get signal out here?
What is it about travel that leads itself so? It always. I mean, remember the guy who said that he gave a review to some place. And said it was, and literally his review of this really historical place was that it was brutal because there was no phone reception.
No phone reception. I think it was the pyramids or something, was it? It was something like that. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's mad. Another person had a wire sticking out of their bag, and the security guard in Malaga airport said, what's the wire? And he says, oh, it's the portable telly. I don't want to miss Match of the Day. Spanish televisions don't show it. Yeah, they don't show that on Spanish TV.
So I have to bring my own telly.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, another woman turned up with her phone from her house. The phone, like the plug-in phone from her house.
Oh my God.
And they said, what are you doing with that? And she goes, I had to bring it. I don't have an answering machine, and I don't want to miss any of the calls when I'm away. Yeah, like
we're getting close to kind of what's that expression about? Was it Darwin's waiting room, or what's that expression?
Oh, the Darwin Awards or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh my God!
There was a tour of Edinburgh Castle a while ago, and this other tourist, they were doing the whole lot, and he says, "God, you think when they were building it, they would have put it closer to the shops." You're like, it's a long hike from Sainsbury's up to the thing, Yeah.
Of course they would.
Yeah, of course they would. And another fella says, do you have the blueprints of the castle? Of course they are. It was built in the 10th century. The blueprints. It's not like an architect. It wasn't done by Dermot Gavin. Or Dermot Bannon. I can never remember which is which.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't done by Dermot Gavin because he's a gardener, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, a holiday maker in Mallorca says, it's mad, isn't it? Is this, do you mind me asking, is this the same sun that we see in Britain? And yes, believe it or not. It's just felt much hotter, she goes. Yeah, it is.
It's the same sun.
I know. And another fella complained like crazy because they went on an alligator spotting thing in Florida, in the Everglades. Yeah. And he says it was outrageous. They wouldn't even let them pet the alligators. Like,
shocking. What are you paying for, man?
Some people are absolutely. Yeah, I know. It's some people. It's gas. A woman apparently getting on Concorde years ago. They said they were told that the plane expands a few inches when it hits supersonic level. Just tell them how it works. And she goes, "Well, I'm sorry, but I'm after buying this dress." She goes, she thought she was going to get bigger. Yeah. Yeah.
This is quality.
I know.
My God.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, it's so true, and the fact is so much stranger than fiction.
And there was a coach.
These are real people.
Oh, these are real people. There was a coach tour in Italy, and they asked anyone getting on the coach if they had any dietary requirements, and a fella put his hand up and says, "Yeah, no Brussels sprouts," he goes.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
There's a blog called Cafe Mom, and a woman called Erica Souder, she runs it, and she put out this question. She just goes like, okay, listen, everybody, you might have good, bad, indifferent marriages, there's nothing perfect, but what is it about your marriage that you hate? What do you hate about your marriage,
Right.
About your man, basically, is what they're saying.
I was just thinking, that's the way this is going. Really,
yeah.
Like, lads are going to get kicking here.
Yeah, and I know she left it open to women marrying other women and all, but not one person in those relationships seems to have said anything. It all came back about the lads.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, and of course, it's like he leaves his stuff everywhere. It's like living with a teenager, and he never goes to our kids' school activities or plays. Of course, he doesn't. Their kids are brutal. You ever go to a kids' play? It doesn't even make sense. Yeah. I remember going to one years ago. It was actually great crack, and there was a kid, and he had to fire a gun, and he went, and there was a sound effect and all queued up. I don't know if one of the teachers doing it fell asleep or whatever, and he held up the gun, and the sound effect didn't go, and then he goes right, and he gave the line again,
right,
and he held up the gun again, and the sound effect didn't go. So this next time he held up the gun, and he gave the sound effect, and he went bang, and then when he went to do the next line, the gunshot went off. It was just amazing timing. So our marriage has 3 people in it: my husband, and his mother. The old mother-in-law thing is one of those that popped up an awful lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, my ma says that's not the right way to do it. Why went it like that? Is there ever a good time to start saying things like that? I don't think so.
Mind you, that can go the other way as well.
Absolutely.
That can easily be done the other way.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I know people who are... one of them is in his 50s now.
Right.
And they're married, right?
Yeah.
And he's in his 50s. And they had a fight. And she said, I'm going to tell me dad on you. She said, he goes, I couldn't care. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
What's he going to do?
That's mad.
He's 87. I don't care what you tell him.
She's an unusual line to bring out.
To come out in the middle of a fight, I'm telling me down, you. What are you? You're 49 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's mad.
So there's people who say they're not compatible then in the old bedroom gymnastics, the old indoor camping, as we like to call it.
Right.
They say that they do frequent in indoor camping trips. Have some nudie gymnastics, but they say that it's not exactly,
it's not like it is in the film.
Yeah. It was more fun with other people in the past. I suppose is what they're trying to say.
Right.
You know, maybe it's just gotten a bit stale. I think that's normal too. You learn 3 positions, you stick to them, stick to what you know. Nobody try. There's nothing worse than trying something new after 10 years of marriage, is there? You come in and then there's you standing there and I don't know what lads will be doing with an old ball in their mouth or something. Don't behave yourself.
Especially when you have to consider, the limitations that age might bring.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like gymnastics, as you referred to it.
Yeah.
It require a certain degree of, suppleness.
They do.
That can sometimes, you know what I mean? You don't want to be putting the hip out. Nothing brings down, your amoratic nature.
Yeah. Then having a physiotherapist in the corner. What you mean you're not in the mood?
Why is he there? He's there in case I hurt myself.
Yeah, we have to do it. We're after paying him 60 quid to make sure we don't get hurt.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah. Planning a night of passion. Don't forget, St. John's ambulance are available.
Yeah, out in the garden. I'm here if you need me.
Yeah, I have the defib and everything.
He's after doing his back. So at least I won't have to cut your trousers off.
It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
They've compiled a list now of what people actually hate about the sun.
Right.
Even though the sun is like the best thing, we pine for it.
Yeah.
All year we're pining for it. And then when it gets here, you get the people going, Jesus, it's too hot and all that. To the point that they've actually realised that most people think the perfect temperature is 22 degrees. But when they go on holidays, they say that there has to be at least 26 degrees or they haven't got their money's worth. So people actually strive to be
too uncomfortable.
Yeah, uncomfortable. And believe it or not, lads, they're lucky again. Men are better off in the heat because women's bodies run hotter anyway.
Yeah.
So we're more comfortable in the heat than women. I think that's not just the temperature, though. I think that's because lads can throw their tops off and walk around with sacks of cans.
Yeah. There could be a social element
without
to that,
the same social pressures that a lot of women have.
So I assume then, in terms of these complaints, top of the list is going to be people trying to sleep. Is it people complaining?
Sleeping is number one on the list that people hate when it comes to this weather. That tossing and turning. The way you're trying to sleep sometimes, like wrestling a bear.
Do you know, I saw a good tip for that, though, on Twitter or something yesterday. Somebody was saying, this idea of it's so hot, open the windows. No, don't. Don't open the windows, apparently. One of the tips was that if your bedroom, right, so leave your curtains closed all day. Yeah. And leave the window shut. Like, keep the hot air out, if you know what I mean, and with your curtains drawn. Do you know what I mean? Like, effectively sleep in a dark cave. Yeah, that's really the essence of what we're getting at here.
Sleep in the garage then. Yes. No windows. Get in a cool, dry space. Sleep where you would like to store fruit.
Yeah.
Essentially. Exercise, of course, is always a torture. You know the way
having to do it?
Yeah, because you're sweaty anyway.
All right.
And then you go in this weather and you do like one arm bell curl. There's my professional gym talk. I know how to do it.
It's been a while, buddy, hasn't it? It's been a while.
I did 2 arm bell swings, arm bell rotations. And after 2 arm bell rotations, then you're sweating so much you're not really enjoying it to the same level as you would normally.
I know what you mean. Yeah, to be fair,
or if you go running, your sweat comes into your eyes. You ever get that? Like then you can start to somehow taste suntan lotion with your eye.
Oh, it's awful.
You know that feeling?
Sensation is horrible.
It's awful. Yeah.
Mind you, I thought originally you meant exercise as in having to do some exercise because it's going to be sunny. As in, the idea of trying to get a beach bod.
Oh, no. Sure, no, well, I gave up on that years ago. Jeepers. Even when I was working out, even when I looked well, I still wouldn't take my T-shirt off. It was like torch titties. Like, there was a stayed me.
It was like what?
Torch titties.
What's a torch
Because
titty?
I'm the ultimate farmer tan. I'm proper tight to the sun on my face and thing, but I take off my top, and there's literally a dead line where my T-shirt would be. And
so you just looked invisible. It looks like your head and your arms were just floating
if I spin
in space.
around and you shine a light at me, I'm like a lighthouse. I actually reflect light to the point that...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I have reflective nipples. I'm so white.
Yeah, quite the phenomenon.
Quite the phenomenon. Also, then people hate working, being stuck in an office all day, knowing that there's jammy bozos like us out there enjoying themselves, having that sort of crack. And then there's driving is actually a big one. Driving in the heat if you don't have aircon, it's a penance, isn't it?
Because you get into that weird situation when you don't have aircon where you have to put the window down.
Yeah.
And then you're subjected to all sorts.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
other people's fumes, other people's music.
And then you're all like, the thing about it is, there's great places to be in Dublin, especially during the sun.
Yeah.
But getting there can be a nightmare. You know, it's like every 3 million people decide in the same 20 minutes that it's a good idea to go to Holt. And you're just sitting in your car and you spend an hour and a half getting there only to sit behind Derek from Cabra. Who's looking in his mirror hating you because you're picking your nose and you're both roasting and you're 2 hours in the car, and then you get there and Derek from Cabra's after beating you to the fish and chip queue, and then you're trying to race Anto from Ballycoolan to get to the ice creams, and then it's time to go home, and then by the time you get home you're miserable. You're like, I shouldn't have bought, and you know what I mean, you're like, next year we're buying garden furniture, and you buy that in October, and then by the time June comes around the fox has wrecked it.
Enjoy the sun,
Oh
everybody.
yeah, I love these days, Jim.
Glory Days. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim.
On Radio Nova.
Right, listen, the other thing I suppose we should mention before we head off is that it's going to be a couple of weeks before we have another Glory Days.
Yeah, this is it now. So we're off on our holidays. Well, Jim's off on his holidays. I'm just sitting at home lonely, looking out the window like an old dog.
If you believe that now, you're more gullible than anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this 51st, which, you know, milestone that we're celebrating today, this 51st episode of Glory Days, which, okay, yes, of course we should have done it last week when it was 50. That's what normal people and normal shows would do. But we're doing 50, and then we're going to. So after 51 episodes, we need to take a break. It's a short intermission, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks with more.
And we're going to lash into the 102. We'll get straight in. We'll do all them that next. We'll do the whole lot of them next week.
We'll have to do that. Actually, we'll have to adopt that attitude of like our milestones are just going to have to be weird milestones compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
So the 51st episode,
the 102nd,
yeah,
the 204th.
I wouldn't even stick to that regime. Let's mark the 73rd.
Yeah,
that's and the 97th.
Yeah, we'll just do it with cake. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah. So here's to 73. Hurrah, Jim!
Hurrah! Right, folks, listen. If you're listening to this and it's still good weather, get out there and enjoy it. And look, and sure, we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Yeah. Well, hopefully, we'll see now if Jim survives. You know.
What if I don't make it back?
Yeah. Don't get malaria now or anything like that.
Malaria?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Where do you think I'm going?
I don't know, smallpox or something. Is that what they get? I don't know what you get over.
Scurvy, is it? From the long journey?
Yeah, you know, you don't get it in the other countries. You get it off the Dublin lads who haven't washed going over to Spain.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.